people are getting excited, essentially, right? Technically speaking, people are getting excited about Bitcoin hitting a resistance. And what kind of resistance are we hitting? We're hitting a high time frame resistance. More specifically, Bitcoin is hitting a 547-day resistance. I'm not going to get excited about our hitting a 547-day resistance in any asset. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, shitcoin, doesn't matter. If it's a high time frame resistance like that, I only get excited once it's broken clearly and convincingly. So what's more likely than not to happen is that we get a repeat of what happened the first two times here, which is essentially a rejection or some sort of retracement from this 547-day resistance. This is one way to look at it. Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is February 14th, 2024. And this is a quick video as to why I'm bearish on Bitcoin right now. Yes, I said that. I'm bearish on Bitcoin right now, okay? I want to address this because I'm seeing in social media, I'm getting questions, I'm getting emails about, hey, you said that Bitcoin was going to retrace. Yes, I still think we're going to retrace, and I'm going to sort of spell that out as, simply as possible on this video. I'm bearish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm going to tell you why. If that interests you, then watch until the very end. While I'm bearish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm bullish on most altcoins, and I'm also going to tell you why that is. So let's get started. All right. First and foremost, please understand that I love crypto. I am as all in as you can be all in. I want Bitcoin and all the crypto assets to go up. It has nothing to do with not being, a fan of crypto. That's nonsense. I'm a technical analyst. I look at these charts every day, and if I'm saying I'm bearish, it's just what I'm seeing in the charts. So you go to social media and you have a lot of excitement. So the first thing I want to say is this. When you have a greed mark on the fear and greed index and you're at resistance, that is a great time to take profit. Okay? You seldom ever want to be with the masses. More often than not, what you see most people saying, most people parroting, is what you should do the opposite of. So right now, on social media, most people are extremely bullish. Not a little bullish, extremely bullish. So we're going to start this analysis off with sentiment. I don't do sentiment analysis as much, but just, using social media as a gauge, and I know it's not a perfect scientific gauge, but Tyler Crypto is hilarious. He's really, really funny. If you've never watched his show, he says, let's read his tweet. He's a really funny guy. The Bitcoin bears have once again been milked, bent over, extracted of their liquidity, and left begging for forgiveness. Everything is aligning. Bitcoin is going up forever. 69,000 is just the beginning. The bulls are on a mission, and that mission is to exterminate every single perma bear. The path to maximum pain is clear. This is, part kidding, but he's partly serious. He does do technical analysis, but, part of his brand is being, perma bullish. And, he just, buys, doesn't sell, rides the ups and downs, which is a good strategy. But what he's saying is very much reflective or reflexive of what a lot of people are thinking, right? People are just so happy that we're getting some positive price action, which they should be. But again, why do we do technical analysis? We do technical analysis so that we can try to avoid what most people can't avoid, or don't avoid, because everybody's saying buy, everybody's excited. You don't want to do that. You want to do your own research. You want to be careful, okay? And so I'll say this. In a moment, we're going to look at the charts, and I'll tell you, regardless of whether or not we can say for sure this is going to happen, you can make a very easy case that it's actually quite reckless. It's quite reckless not to take profit right now, okay? So going into technical analysis, a lot of people are talking about this bullish megaphone pattern, right, on the Bitcoin chart. And what is this? This is a 2-day chart, so it's a high time frame chart. A bullish megaphone pattern. So we'll look at that. We'll have a look at that. Okay, now let's get into the chart. Okay, so we're on the daily time frame. What of this 2-day megaphone pattern? Okay, essentially everybody is saying, you know, Bitcoin's putting in a megaphone pattern. This is the pattern they're talking about, and it's breaking out right now, right here. And the breakout, actually, it's not breaking out. Let's put this in properly. Guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Buy me a coffee at the link pinned in the comment below if you feel so inclined to do so. You see, the megaphone pattern is actually not breaking out. If you really want to draw it properly, we haven't even hit the resistance of the megaphone pattern yet. Okay, so as you can see, if you're careful, let's make this a different color so we don't confuse things. Let's make it blue. Okay, the Bitcoin's megaphone pattern isn't breaking out. It has yet to break resistance. Okay, as you can see here, we're just connecting the points of support and the points of resistance to draw in this megaphone pattern. And breaking resistance would be around 54K-ish. That would be a break of the megaphone pattern. That's what a lot of people are talking about. So for me, that's not breaking. That's just another point of resistance in addition to what we already have here. So this white line, so let's zoom out now. Let's zoom out now. So what are these white lines that I drew? These are really high time frame resistance lines, okay? So basically, I'm connecting this support right here, right, in March of 23, and a support level of September of 23 for the support. And then for the resistance, I've got August of 22 and, of course, January of this year. So I've got 2 points, right? That's all you need to make a line, a trend line. And actually, I've got 3 points because I just got to touch on that resistance. Okay, so I touched it 3 times, but the first 2 times I rejected off of it. Okay, and so people are getting excited, essentially, right? Technically speaking, people are getting excited about Bitcoin hitting a resistance. And what kind of resistance are we hitting? We're hitting a high time frame resistance. More specifically, Bitcoin is hitting a 547-day resistance. I'm not going to get excited about our hitting a 547-day resistance in any asset. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin, shitcoin, doesn't matter. If it's a high time frame resistance like that, I only get excited once it's broken clearly and convincingly. So what's more likely than not to happen is that we get a repeat of what happened the first 2 times here, which is essentially a rejection or some sort of retracement from this 547-day resistance. This is one way to look at it. I have been on this channel talking about my views on Bitcoin, why I'm not really interested in longing Bitcoin in this region because it looks corrective to me. I said yesterday this was an initial break of structure. Basically, I'm breaking structure here. I'm going up and then I'm making a lower high. That doesn't seem bullish to me, okay? And so I'm looking at it in terms of Elliott wave theory. Also, I'm looking at this right here, untested resistance, high time frame resistance, 250 plus days, I think, of resistance, never retested as support. So many reasons to tell me that I am not very much interested in longing Bitcoin from the top. This is literally, quite literally, longing the top. Here's another thing. Guys, what do we talk about on this channel? A lot. We talk about channels. So look at this. Watch this. Okay? You can actually draw a channel. Let's do that. Let's draw a channel here. And you can see, and you guys can do this for yourself. I'm actually on the free version of TradingView. So everything that you see here, you should be able to access on your own. This channel tool, you know, all these markups. Don't need many indicators if you know your shit. You know, just look at price action and see the patterns. You know, I'm not saying indicators are bad. I'm just saying, like, you know, you can do all of this analysis on your own. And I do encourage you to do your own research. So if you drew a channel, and again, this is like a 550, 600 day channel, right? Bitcoin's been going up and down throughout this channel, just basically matriculating to the upside, back down. To the upside, where do you think it's going? High time frame, high degree of probability. When it's gone from the bottom of the channel to the top, to the bottom to the top, it's more likely than not to come down back to the bottom. Now, what do you see here? And this is what we call confluence. What did I say just a few moments ago? Bitcoin's very much likely targeting the top of this entire move right here, this consolidation, because we broke out of here. We never retested this area as support, right? High time frame resistance has to be retested as support. What do you see here? Boom. The bottom of this 550 day channel is confluent with the top of this high time frame resistance, never retested as support. Furthermore, if you take a Fibonacci retracement tool and you go from the bottom of this purported impulse all the way to the top, what do you see? Well, you see that a retest all the way down here, down to the bottom of this channel, is not only confluent with the top of this move, but also the golden pocket, right? The 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. Again, a move back down to 32,000, thereabouts 30 to 32,000 is very highly likely. However you slice it. Either you can say you're coming back down to retest the bottom of this channel before breaking out of the channel, or you can say that we're coming back down, retesting the top of this 250-day resistance broken, never retested as support, or you can say that you're basically putting in, sorry, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're basically putting in A, B, C correction, right? A wave 2 correction of this 80 some odd day, I think it's 90-day impulse to the upside. Okay, so the story, very simply put, is that Bitcoin has been going up for about a calendar year. So ever since, right, October of 23, we've been going up, right? Actually, sorry. Oh, no, that's correct. I'm not counting this. So from December, the end of 2022, right, we've pretty much been matriculating up, right? That's about almost a calendar year, 376 days, okay? So people saying, oh, Bitcoin hasn't moved, like Bitcoin's been going up very convincingly for almost a calendar year without any major retracement. If you want to say that we've had a major retracement, I would say that this would be a major retracement, but there has been no major retracement for quite some time, ever since this flush in March of 23. So I would say, with a high degree of likelihood, with a high degree of probability, based on this analysis, that the move from this point, which is likely a resistance, right, 51, 52. We can even wick up to 53, 54, as I showed yesterday in my analysis, given that if you put your Fibonacci retracement tool to use right here, and you treat this, actually if you treat this as your A wave, right? I don't know how maybe this is it right here. You have a phi ratio of about 55K, let's say 55K. So a top of 55K. If 55K is broken, then you are convincingly breaking out of this channel based off of this chart right here. If you break the 1618, the phi ratio of this initial break of structure, that means this is not an initial break of structure. This is simply part and parcel of this uptrend, and you can expect further uptrend. You are probably going to get an all-time high here. But as long as we stay within these boundaries between 50 and 55K, let's say, if we hover here, which is likely, right? Because what are we talking about here? We're talking about a 550-day resistance. You're not just going to hit it and quit it, right? Likely going to kind of dance on it and then break down. If that happens, right, between 50 and 55K, then what you're getting is Bitcoin looking to correct. And then the last thing I'll say is this. You can do your own research, pull up a high time frame chart of Bitcoin and put in some markers showing when Bitcoin having happened. What you're going to see systematically every single time without exception. When Bitcoin halving happens, we fall into it. So what do you see here? You see Bitcoin is at some sort of resistance. That's undisputable. The question is, some people think we're breaking out of it. Other people think that we're at resistance and we're going to reject from it. When Bitcoin is at as Bitcoin's at this resistance, if we do now retest the bottom of this channel, it's likely that we do so in April, late March, early April, mid-April. That's essentially right before the halving. And that's what we typically see. We typically see a move down right before the halving. So this move from where we're at right now, 51, 52, again, it can wick up all the way close to 55 and back down to 32, 31K would be consistent with what we've seen historically in Bitcoin's price action before halving. This is why I'm bearish on Bitcoin right now. Now, let me say this. Just because I'm bearish on Bitcoin, let's not remove that. Let me remove this now. Just because I'm bearish on Bitcoin right now, actually, you know what? Let's leave that in. Let's remove the channel. Just because I'm bearish on Bitcoin doesn't mean I'm bearish on every asset. I said in the beginning of the video, I'm bearish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I'm going to show you Ethereum in just a second. But what do I think is going to happen in the coming weeks, okay, before we break down? Like I said, I think we dance around this resistance right here, and Bitcoin flirts with breaking but never really breaks this level. In that time, I expect altcoins to run, and that's what we also typically see. You're not going to get the majority of altcoins mooning as Bitcoin is dumping. That's not what we're going to see. When I say I'm bearish on Bitcoin, I'm just basically saying Bitcoin's not going to do much but hover. Because if I'm bullish on any other asset in crypto, right, an asset class in crypto, right, Bitcoin has to comply. Bitcoin cannot be dumping and a whole class of assets run. It doesn't work out like that. We've never seen that, right? So we're going to have Bitcoin hover, right? Continue to flirt with this breakout. Give people the conviction that it's going higher and get interested in investing in this space. And that's what you're going to see in alt season. And we're going to see that reflected in our Bitcoin dominance chart, as you can see here. And we've been looking at this for quite some time on this channel. You're in a high time frame channel that doesn't look like it's breaking out. Look, if Bitcoin was going to break out from where it's at right now, you're essentially also saying that this channel that you see right here in red, right, this 116-day channel is also about to break out, okay? And what I'm seeing is a channel that's tried to break out but hasn't yet to break out, and it's more likely than not breaking down. Okay, this is the latest from the price action in Bitcoin dominance, and what I see is another test of the top of the channel and a failure to break that, another test, failure to break that, right? I'm seeing an eventual breakdown of Bitcoin dominance from this channel, and that's what we're going to see, which reflects an altcoin season, meaning Bitcoin's hovering, right, at resistance, kind of flirting with breaking out, giving people the notion that Bitcoin's going much higher than it actually is. Meanwhile, altcoins start to moon, right? And so now I said I'm bearish on Bitcoin and Ethereum, as well as any other altcoin that has already run. But most altcoins have yet to run, okay? So let's look at Ethereum, because I did mention Ethereum. Why am I bearish on Ethereum? Same reasons I'm bearish on Bitcoin. You're at high time frame resistance, okay? And this is actually more, this is more recognizable as a bearish pattern. This is what we call a rising wedge. Obviously, no pattern in any technical analysis does the same thing all the time. There's no 100%, outcome for any pattern. But these rising wedges tend to break down. They tend to break down. And so what we're seeing here is, just like Bitcoin, Ethereum is ping-ponged from the bottom support to the top resistance of this high time frame pattern. And much like Bitcoin, you're dealing with hundreds of days, right? About 600 days. Just like Bitcoin, you're dealing with about 600 days of price action. And so when you're looking at Ethereum in this 600-day rising wedge, being bullish on Ethereum here is risky. It's not impossible. It doesn't mean that it can't happen, but it's risky because you're at a 600-day resistance and you've hit it once, twice, 3 times, or you could say twice, right? Convincingly. And you're looking more likely than not to bounce from the resistance. So to correct from the resistance and not break it, right? That's just my sense. Also, what makes me not bullish on Ethereum is this right here. Look, you go up in what looks to be a 5-wave impulse right here, right? This looks like a wave 4 to me. This looks like the final wave 5. And what do you see here? An initial break of structure targeting wave 4 of the previous trend, right? So this is the break of structure. It's showing you, okay, something may be different. We may be initiating a correction. And then what you see here is a counter. So basically, you're having price retest a previous high. That's not bullish to me, especially in this context. And again, when I'm looking at corrections, you want to usually count in 3s. Not 100% of the time, but typically what you see is corrections come in flavors of 3. So you're looking for 1, 2, 3, some balance in the chart, okay? And actually more accurately, something maybe not as drastic as this, but maybe something like this, okay? At the midline of this rising wedge. So this is also why I'm bearish on Ethereum. And I said this even before doing this pattern analysis, right? Yesterday I did this same analysis, but just using Elliott wave. And what you can see here is, if this indeed is an impulse in 5 waves, and this is your initial break of structure, A wave, this is your B wave, your C wave, right? Or the completion of this 3-wave correction comes all the way down here to 1916, right? Around there, around 1900, like I said yesterday. And essentially, you're retesting previous resistance as support, right? Look at this. Just like Bitcoin. And this is analysis you have to do on your own. Okay, this is high probability analysis. Nobody says it's going to work out all the time, but these are basic concepts that you have to be honest and look at for yourself. You can look at sentiment analysis, you can look at fear and greed, but you kind of want to ignore the noise and look at the chart and see, what's the chart telling me? Okay, for Ethereum, this right here has yet to be retested as support. You broke out of a high time frame resistance, you came up, you hit your head on some higher time frame resistance, 1, 2, 3. This is the very logical retracement, logical move down for Ethereum, and that would coincide the confluences. That is the phi ratio of this entire move up, and it's the neckline of this massive cup and handle. Okay, so that's Ethereum. This is why I'm not bullish on Ethereum. And I understand how unpopular this is, given that we've been in an 800 to 1,000 day bear market for a lot of assets. You want everything to go up immediately, but you have to be honest and you have to be measured in your analysis. Now, why am I bullish on other assets? Well, for one, this chart. Okay, this chart, and I think this is exemplary of what really is happening in the altcoin space, right? Bitcoin dominance is likely going down, right? And if you look at high time frame charts for most other altcoins, you don't have what you're seeing with Bitcoin and Ethereum, okay? You basically are dealing with things like Dogecoin, things that are completely bottomed out, okay? And I've shown this a lot, so I'm not going to sort of harp on it too much, but I just want to round out the conversation. I'm bullish on most altcoins because, unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, they haven't printed bearish patterns on a high time frame. This is a bullish pattern right here. This is a bullish consolidation. There's a lot of these, just go through and you can see it for yourself. You're basically on the bottom with most of these, not all of them, right? Not so Chainlink, okay? This is clearly the move coming into, Chainlink. I think Cardano may have already finished its correction, because we were talking about being bearish on Cardano for quite some time. But look, you went up and you came down right here, and you kind of bottomed out in January. So you may have already completed your correction in Cardano. So Cardano may have put in that shallow retracement. Shallow but sufficient. Shallow but sufficient. And it's sufficient because if you look at it, you essentially just kissed the neckline of this bearish consolidation in Cardano right here. So you broke it, you come back, you kiss it. This is what you want to look for. Has the high time frame resistance been retested as support? If so, this is a likely safe trade. You don't want to be foolhardy and just close your eyes and throw money into any asset. You want to be discerning. You want something like Polkadot. Put in that bearish consolidation, neckline, broke out of it, came back, retested it as support. Sayonara. That is what you want. So be very careful in thinking everything's bullish. No, look at the asset, use TradingView. Like I said, I'm using the free version of TradingView. I've been using the free version of TradingView for a couple weeks now, just testing it out, seeing what's available, because I've always paid for it, but I'm seeing if it's worth paying for. And yeah, just go on a high time frame of whatever asset you want to trade and check. Is it toppy? Is it extended? Is it printing a bearish pattern on the high time frame? So that's pretty much my case. I hope this helps. I hope it clarifies my sentiments and my views on the market at present. Guys, I hope this is helpful, useful. Best of luck trading these moves up. Like, share, and subscribe if you got value.
The thing